Hi, so I decided that I'm going to do this stretch video for you. It's probably going to be around 20 to 30 minutes long. Feel free to take it at your own pace. You know, if you want to pause the video at any point so that you can hold the stretch for a little bit longer, feel free to do that. You don't need to go to the pace of this video. I'm only condensing it to 20 to 30 minutes to make it easy to upload and follow along, really, basically, and it's just a quick and easy thing for someone to do if they have short time, you know, if they're busy. So feel free to pause the video at any point to hold the stretch for a bit longer if you need to. So yes, get started. Start off by sitting in a comfortable position. It doesn't matter how you sit. All we're going to do is we're going to work from our neck and we're going to work down. We're going to start with a few neck rolls. So all I want you to do is take a nice deep breath in and out. Just try and relax as much as you can. Sit up as tall as possible. Keep your back nice and straight. And we're just going to start by rolling the chin to the chest. Keeping your back nice and straight. And then taking your head back, looking up. Then coming forward into the centre, rolling to the side. Keeping your shoulders down, relaxed. Back to centre, back to the other side. And we're just going to repeat those. So chin to chest first, back nice and straight, shoulders down. And then head back, chest out, shoulders down. Back to centre, over to your left shoulder. And back to centre, over to the right shoulder. So you should be feeling this stretching through your neck, through your traps at the side. We're just going to take the chin to the chest and roll to the left shoulder. And back, chin to chest, over to the right shoulder. And we're just going to keep rocking from side to side, back to your left shoulder. Keeping shoulders down, relaxed, back nice and straight, staying nice and tall. Really lengthening through your neck, rolling from side to side. I'm just going to do one more, rolling over to the left shoulder, back into the centre and rolling over to the right shoulder. Rolling back to the middle and then coming up nice and slowly. Okay, so we're going to move on to your shoulders next. So I want you to take your hands down to your side. All I want you to do is roll the shoulders forward and hunch them up towards your ears. Then clench your shoulder blades together, bring the shoulders back, and then bringing the shoulders down. So we're just doing some shoulder rolls here. That's good. Bringing them up nice and high, and then chest out, bringing the shoulders right down. So making really big circles with your shoulders. Try and relax through your arms and your neck. Staying nice and tall in your position. Nice deep breath in and out. And doing one more. Good, and relaxing there. So we're going to now take your hand above your head with a nice straight arm. You're going to bring your hand onto your wrist. Keep this arm nice and straight, and then I want you to bend over, pulling that straight arm across over your head. So you should be bending through the side of your body and your upper back here. So you should feel this stretch slightly in your lats, which is there. So holding this position here for around 10 seconds, a nice deep breath in and out. Trying not to overarch like so. You want to stay nice and tall from the midsection down and then rounding through the upper part here. Coming back to centre, you're going to switch arms. So take the other arm nice and straight, lock it out, and then arching through your upper back, keeping the midsection nice and straight, and really rounding through your upper back there. That's good, coming back to centre. Okay, so that was just a bit of an upper back stretch. We're going to take our hands and link our fingers together, pushing your palms out, and then really rounding through your upper back here. So I'm just going to turn to the side so that I can show you from the side what this looks like. So taking your palms forward, push, really rounding through your shoulder blades here, pushing the shoulders forward and allowing your neck to lower down. So you should be feeling that through the back of the shoulders, through your shoulder blades and around the top half of your upper back. And relaxing there. Give your shoulders a bit of a shake there if you need to, and then we're going to do the reverse. So we're going to link our fingers behind our back, pushing our hands back and away from us, shoulders back, chest out. And you should be feeling this through your shoulders and your chest at the front here. Now holding this position, if you want to go down and push your chest up, this may help you. If not, push your hands back and away from you. Nice deep breaths, keep staying nice and tall. Try and remember to breathe and relax. That's good, and relax there. So, we're going to move into our cat and cow next. So you may have done this before. So all we're going to do is take a tabletop position. You're going to have your knees directly under your hips and your hands are going to be directly under your shoulders. So from here, a little bit. So from here, all you're going to do is go into your cat position. So we're going to arch through our back, pushing your tailbone under you, pushing your shoulder blades apart, and you're going to breathe out here. From there, you're going to push your bum back, rounding through your lower back and bringing your head up, pushing your chest towards the floor, so making your cat position. And we're just going to keep going through this. So going back into your cow, tucking your tailbone under you, and then going into your cat there, into your cow, sorry. And keep repeating these. We're going to do two more, pushing through your back, really rounding through your spine, and then stomach towards the floor, chest towards the floor, chest out. And then one more, really arching through your upper back, and your lower back, rounding through your spine, and then going back into your cat position, arching through your back. You should feel your lower back clenching here. This is normal, that's fine. And then just relaxing back to neutral. So from here, we're going to take our hands forward, like so, keeping our hips where they are. And then from there, you're going to keep your hips as high as you can, lowering your chest towards the floor. Hips can go back, but keep them high. Chest towards the floor, coming into our stretching cat position. So here you may feel the stretching through your upper back, through your shoulders, under your armpits, around your chest, anywhere through your upper body is good. Nice deep breaths here. And then you're going to bring yourself up, pushing your hips towards the floor. Chest out, shoulders back, into your seal position. So the aim for this one is trying to get your hips as low to the floor as you can. You will feel your lower back clenching, that's okay. We're just trying to arch our back as much as we can and trying to stretch out our hip flexors. So pushing the hips towards the ground. And then push your bum back up. Going back into stretch cat. Remember, hips nice and high, chest towards the floor. So again, you'll feel this through your upper body somewhere. Nice deep breaths. Try and get that chest as low to the floor as you can. And then going back into our seal, hips towards the floor. If you want to bring your legs up, you can. Stretch off the quads slightly. Pushing your shoulders back and chest out, and then going back into your stretchy cat. Hips right up, and then chest towards the floor. Back into your seal one last time. Hips right down, pushing yourself up. If you need to move your hands closer, you can. Shoulders a bit of a roll here if you want to. That's good. And then from there you're going to lie flat on the floor. So from here all you're going to do is bring one heel up, keeping your legs together, and we're just going to stretch off the quads. So that's the front of the leg here. holding this position. If you want to lift your knee off the floor to feel a further stretch, you can. Again, if you need to pause the video at any point to hold the stretch for a bit longer, feel free to do so. Okay, lowering that leg down. And then we're going to take the other side and do the same with the other leg. Pushing your hips into the floor and lift your knee up if you need to. That's good, and relax there. From here, you're just going to roll onto your back, lying flat. And now we're going to focus on your hamstrings and glutes. So we're going to bring the knee to the chest, lying flat on the floor, tucking your knee in as tight as you can. And you may feel a bit of a stretch going on through the back of the legs and the glutes here. From there, we're going to try and straighten out this leg as much as we can. If you need to hold on to the back of your leg to support yourself, you can. If you want to hold on to your toes, you can do that. If you need to bend the other knee for a bit of support, you can do that as well. So whatever's most comfortable for you, just keep this leg as straight as you possibly can. Point in your toes to begin with, so this focuses more on your hamstrings. And then if you're flexing your foot, toes towards your face, you may feel a little bit more in your calves. Really focusing on this leg, keeping it as straight as you can. That's good. Bring your knee to your chest and relax that leg back down. Switching legs, so bring this one into your chest. You may feel this through your hip flexors as well. If you're tight there, that's good. You want to focus on the areas that are most tight, where you're feeling it the most. These areas will be the tighter areas that you want to focus on. And then doing the same thing again. If you want to bring that leg up for support, you can. Straighten out this leg, hold on to either your toes or behind your leg, wherever's comfortable. And then either pointing your toes to focus a bit more on your hamstrings. Also make sure you're keeping your hips into the floor as much as you can. You don't want your lower back to come off the floor. Or you can flex your foot and feel it a little bit more in your calves. Just making sure that leg stays as straight as we can. Good, bring your knee there, back into the chest and relax it back down. So, next one that we're going to do is focusing on your glutes. You want to keep one knee bent. You're going to place your other ankle across your knee like so, going into this position, and then from there you're lifting this foot up and this leg and holding behind your leg. So applying pressure through this foot to your knee, trying to make sure that knee stays that way as much as you can. You don't want it to come in, you want it to go out. So if you need to apply pressure with your hand or your elbow, you can do this. So from here you should be feeling it in your glutes as much as possible. So hold this position here, rearrange yourself if you need to. If you need to bring that foot up for support, you can. You can push into your ankle. This may give you an extra stretch. Just making sure that knee stays out. That's good. Lower that back to the floor, switching sides. Same again, you may find that one side's easier than the other. This means you may be tighter on one side, that's fine. Again, doing the same again. Applying pressure through the knee if you need to. Try not to let your pelvis move. This may affect the stretch that you get. You may find that you're not feeling it. That might be because your pelvis has moved, so stay as straight as possible. Again, if you need to bring your foot up to apply more pressure, you can, using the elbow to push against your knee and lowering back down there. Okay, sitting up from here. So we're just going to take this seated position to begin with, and I just want you to crawl your hands behind your back and push your chest out here. So you can go as low as you want. You don't have to have your hands together, you just need to have your hands behind your back and pushing through your chest there. You should feel it across the front of your shoulders. So we're just going back to a bit of upper body here, just while we're in this position. For a few seconds and crawl yourself back up. Okay, so from here, if you want to face a different direction, you can. I'm just going to stay facing this way, it's a bit easier. So we're going to focus on your hamstrings here. So all we're going to do is lean forward, try and keep your back as flat as you can. I'm not very good at this part, so just try and keep this as straight as possible, but if you can't, that's okay. You're just going to either hold on to under your knees, under your ankles, or your feet. I just want you to lean forward into that hamstring stretch, so you should feel it in the back of your legs there. So wherever's comfortable for you to go to, you can increase it each time if you want to, just holding a position that's most comfortable, trying to keep your back as straight as you can. Point your toes to start with. You'll feel it a lot more through your hamstrings. Holding that position. Nice deep breaths. Try to lower yourself down if you can. If this is proving too difficult, you can sit up and you can do one leg at a time, so you can apply pressure through one hand, lean forward or pull onto your toes, like so. You need to lift that foot off the floor, pushing into your knee, that's fine. And switch legs. Grab hold of your toe, pull the ankle off the floor slightly, push into the top of your knee. Again, you may feel this a little bit more in your calves, but you'll feel it through the back of your leg somewhere. That's good. Okay. From here, we're going to take a straddle position, so the legs are nice and wide. So wherever you're most comfortable, you don't need to be too wide, just somewhere where you can sit up as tall as you can. If you need to bend your knees to help you stay up tall, you can do that as well. Just want you to make sure you're sitting on your bum bones as much as possible, so you're not sitting on your tailbone, so you're not sitting back. Sit up as tall as you can, leaning forward, keeping your back nice and straight. And again, just go to wherever's comfortable with your legs. You're just going to slowly crawl your fingers forward, keeping your back as flat as you possibly can, until you start feeling a stretch through the hamstrings, through your groin. You want to make sure you're pushing your hips forward and leaning into it as much as you can, trying to keep your back as straight as possible. If you want to grab onto your feet as well to pull you forward, you can do that too. Just slowly inching yourself towards the floor, staying as relaxed as you possibly can. Going as low as you can, holding for 5, 4, 3, a little bit lower, 2, 1, and slowly coming back up from there. So we're going to move on to a lower back stretch now. So you're going to bring one foot in, you're going to keep that leg extended out, and then from here you can either have one hand, well, your opposite hand to leg there if you need to, and reach across this way, trying to reach for your toes. If you can't reach for your toes in that position, you're just going to take your hand to your foot and then your other arm over the side. So making sure with this you're still facing forward, you're not facing your leg, otherwise you're not going to feel it in your lower back. So keep your hips facing as far forward as possible. Reach over and then you're bending through your midsection and the side body here across there, so you should feel it down the lower back. Holding this position. Nice deep breaths here, try and relax. And then we're going to take our hand to the floor, bring your foot to the side if you need to, bring your body up, pushing your hips forward here. So this is stretching out your hips. You should feel it right in there, around that area somewhere. Keeping that leg straight, arm over your head, pushing your hips forward as much as you can. And returning back to the floor, and then reaching over again. So we're just going to repeat these 2 stretches 2 more times. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reaching over, hand to the floor, hips up. Pushing your hips forward, pushing through your glutes, and relaxing there. And returning back to the floor one last time.
reaching over. Again, making sure your hips stay as far facing forward as possible. Twist through your body so that you're not facing your leg, you want to be facing forwards. And then hand to the floor, bring your hips up, push through your glutes. Lower yourself there. And we're going to do the same thing the other side. So bring that other foot in, extend the other leg out. Again, facing forward as much as possible. Reaching over to your toes, bringing your body down to the side, really rounding through your back and your midsection and the side body. Relaxing here as much as possible. Nice deep breaths in and out. And then taking the hand over, reaching up, hips up, pushing through your glutes. Returning back to the floor, reach over, really rounding through your side body, keeping your hips forward. Relaxing as much as you can, nice deep breaths. And taking the hand down to the floor, hips up. Keeping your body nice and straight. And we're going to repeat those one more time. Reaching over, stretching off the lower back. And hand to the floor, reaching up. Pushing your hips forward, body nice and straight. And sitting back down here. Okay, we're going to move into a butterfly position here. So feet come together. You're going to make sure you're sitting on your bum bones, so not on tailbones. Staying up as tall as you can. You want to get your feet in as close as possible. But if you are struggling here, just take your feet forward. Keep your knees a bit higher and sit up tall, okay? So once you're in your position, nice and comfortably sitting up tall, hold on to under your toes. Pushing your knees down, pushing your hips forward, staying as tall as you can, keeping your back as straight as possible. Pushing your knees right down. If you need to give it some assistance, you can lean forward and apply pressure through your elbows, or if you can apply pressure through your hands. But I'm not that flexible. So really pushing forward here. You want to be feeling this stretch through your groin, so you want to be applying pressure through your glutes, pushing your glutes forward to push your hips forward. And really pushing the knees down as much as possible. Okay, from here, we're going to take the feet forward, still in your butterfly position. Keep the knees up, and then you're going to lean forward here. So you may feel the stretch a little bit more under the legs. Leaning forward as much as you can. And then you're going to straighten out your legs completely and lean forward there. Okay. From here, we're going to take a seated position still. And you're going to have two right angles through your legs, and we're going to move into your pigeon stretch. So some of you may have done this before. So you want two right angles, one through the front and your leg in front, the one through the side with your leg behind you, and then you're going to come up onto your hands to start with and sit up nice and tall, straightening out that side leg behind you. So this is stretching off your glutes, maybe slightly your hamstrings. Sit up nice and tall. You want to try and get this hip as low to the floor as you can. Stay nice and straight as well. So really tall, pushing your hips down into the floor. And then we're going to take our arms down onto your forearms, again pushing your hips into the floor. and then lying as flat as possible, all the way down. Okay, coming up from there, take that leg back, and we're going to do the same thing again. So if you want to, just going straight into it, bringing that front leg forward and then straightening out the back leg, sitting up nice and tall, hands one on a knee, one on a foot if you want to, or on the floor, whichever one's best for you. Sitting up as tall as you can, really pushing your hips down towards the ground. And then we're going to take our hands down, bring out some forearms, pushing down here again. Nice deep breath here. Really push down as much as possible through your hips. And then reaching out and lying flat. Okay, coming up from there. We're going to be in a forward lunge position. You want to have your knees at 2 right angles. So a right angle through your front leg and a right angle through your back leg. From here, all we're going to do is tilt our hips underneath us. So push your pelvis and your tailbone under you and stay in this position. You should feel this stretch through the back leg, but in the front hip flexor, so at the front here. So if I switch legs to show you. So again, from here, you should feel it through the front here. Tilt your hips under, keeping nice and straight. You should feel your glutes squeezing, and you should feel that pull through the front of your leg there. Holding this position here. Okay, from there we're going to take that foot forward and we're going to be pushing our hips towards the floor here. So again, focusing on this quad and the hip flexor there. Hands either on your knees, on the floor, wherever's comfortable for you. Staying up as tall as you can. Really pushing your hips right down. You might feel a bit of a stretch through your groin as well, that's good. You may feel a little stretch through your hamstring at the front, that's also good. But it's mainly focusing on the hip flexors here. Good, and then from there we're just going to keep this foot forward. We're going to sit back and keep this leg as straight as possible. So applying pressure through your hands if you need to. Keep your toes pointed to start with. Doesn't matter how far you sit back here, you just want to get this leg as straight as possible and feel a stretch through your hamstring at the back. And then from there we're going to bring the toes up. Again, applying pressure with your hands, staying nice and tall. And then we're going to switch legs. Doing the same again here. 2 right angles, one through the front, one through the back. From here, pushing your pelvis under, squeezing your glutes, and then you should feel that stretch through the hip flexor at the front. Holding this position here. Now taking that foot forward, pushing the hips down, making sure this front knee doesn't go over your ankle. Pushing your hips down there. Holding that position, stay nice and tall, nice deep breaths. And then sitting back, keeping that foot planted on the floor. Apply pressure through your knee with your hands. Making your leg nice and straight, keep your toes pointed. Try and lean forward into it as much as you can. And then you can bring your toes up there if you want to. Again, leaning forward. And then bringing that knee back. From here, we're just going to sit down onto our bum and crawl our hands forward. We're just going to finish here in child's pose. If you want to, you can take your knees out to the side more. Push your hips back there so you feel it a little bit more through your hips and your groin. And we're just going to finish on this stretch, holding it here. That's good, coming up from there. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did like it and you want to see some more of these videos, please do let me know. Feel free to give this video a like, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'm hoping to use it a little bit more providing I have the time. But yeah, if you liked it, please do let me know, and happy stretching.